Are you all ready for bed, I see? Snuggle up under those blankets and carefully listen to me. With your pillow underneath your head and slowly closing your eyes, let's all get comfortable and get ready for a story surprise. Whether we venture through the forest and make new friends, or fly off through the distant lands, you can always depend. After you listen for a while and you start to nod off, you can count on us to give you a great snoozy send-off.
Welcome to another story for you.
Hi, boys and girls. I'm Snoozy, the bedtime bear, and today we have a story for you of the Golden Net, Part 2, Tait Leads the Way. In the second story of the series, Maggie arrives at the great forest in her quest to find Minerva. As she starts to feel overwhelmed by how big the forest is, a little chipmunk appears, and the two quickly become friends. Join Maggie and Tait as they navigate in search of the wise old owl.
The Golden Net. Part 2. A Great Forest Tale. Tait leads the way. When Maggie stepped off the boat and walked into the great forest for the first time, she was overwhelmed by the sounds and the smells. She heard birds singing in the branches, frogs chirping in the grass, could smell the earth in the trees, flowers in the water. On the island where she grew up, the main smell was fish, and the sound she heard most often was the waves crashing against the shore. This forest seemed to explode with different sights and sounds. She stood in awe for a while and enjoyed all of it. Soon Maggie remembered why she was there. She had to find Minerva, the owl. Now that she saw the great forest, she wasn't sure how she would ever find her. The trees seemed to stretch on forever. She walked for a bit, trying not to get lost. As lunchtime approached, she pulled out the little bag her father had given her and started munching on some dry biscuits. Then she noticed a tree not far away, with dark red berries growing on it. She stood in front of it, wondering if they were safe to eat. She licked her lips as she saw how tasty looking they were. Just then, a little chipmunk came over and sat beside her.
"Hello there, little fellow," she said.
I don't suppose you know whether these berries are safe for people to eat. She didn't expect him to actually tell her. He was just a chipmunk after all. But then, a surprising thing happened. He turned to her and said, "Oh yes, they are perfectly fine to eat. I eat them all the time." This was the first time Maggie had ever heard an animal speak. But it wasn't going to be the last. After all, she was now in the great forest. And here, all the animals could talk. She tried not to stare at him, and remembered to say thank you. Then she tried a berry. It was cool in her mouth, and it burst when she bit into it. The delicious juices filled her mouth. She ate as many as she could find, and was soon full. The chipmunk was still sitting there, watching her curiously. "Pardon me, I hope you don't mind me asking," he said. "But I've never seen you before. Are you looking for someone in the great forest?" She told him she was, and asked him if he had ever heard of Lynn of the Lake. "Is she a goose?" he asked. "No," said Maggie. "She's a water spirit of some kind."
Thanks for tuning in. That was a short preview of another story for you. Boys and girls, click the like button, and when you come visit us, you can download your favorite story or just print out your favorite picture to color yourself. Goodbye for now.